All right, we're on this job here. Got started a few weeks ago, built these stairs. The old stairs used to come down, you can kind of see the marks right there. That was the old header for them. So they took those out, expanded the pantry and the kitchen up there. They turned a porch over here into an enclosed entryway, and then brought these stairs up into the living room. So flows a lot better. It's still tight in this corner, but eventually this post, this is an old temporary jack post, and if you see these in your house, I see them a lot, and they're honestly not meant to be here forever. I mean, this house is I don't know, probably 30-40 years old at least, and look at it, look at these things. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them down this 50-foot stretch. This whole basement's 50 foot long, and this is a 2x10 4-ply beam. And I don't know how much this is all going to show up on the camera, but look at that beam. It is not level. Two little roofing nails holding it in there. It's not level this way. It's not plumb. You know, those stairs are plumb. That post is not plumb. Okay, then you come down the bottom, 0 fasteners. Out of plumb, 0 fasteners. And then what happened up here is they think the foundation kind of shifted a little bit, and because of that, this caused this to shift. Because look at this, this is like a 1/8 or 3/16 plate holding up half of the house. That is overloaded. And again, these are more or less temporary jacks to build the house. Okay, they should have been replaced with framing long before this. That plate's straight, but like oh well, we couldn't get the nails in, so we'll just leave them like that. And pff, come on, no fasteners in the bottom, and they're just all out of whack. Anyway, so we are going to be here for a few weeks or months at least, and we're going to get this whole basement completely finished off for this customer. So blue lines are walls. That's going to be a little utility room. We're going to have a lot of bulkheads and knockouts for all of the plumbing down here. You know, if you're doing any kind of work in a basement that's already this finished, just tuck stuff up into the dang rafters, you know? Like, this whole sewer line could have been up higher. All these water lines, but we're gonna make it work because we have to. But so this wall is gonna be out. You'll be able to shimmy through here if you ever need to. That drain, you know, that could have been different. This water heater probably could have been in a different spot, but it's here and they don't mind, and we're just gonna make it work. So this will be a little door into the utility, into another little utility space just for the water heater, in case that ever needs to be taken out. Oh, we should fix that pan or replace it. That's not good. Yeah, that pan needs to be different. Okay, and then there's gonna be like a bar sink and bar here, so that utility space will give us some room to either come over and drop into the sump over here, or we're also going to be putting a bathroom in here, and that's going to have its own, you know, agitator or sandy flow pump things. So that's going to be tucked in back here. This is old washer and dryer. We're going to take all this out, move it. This will be a shower right there, toilet, vanity, doorway. This is going to be a little office. Fortunately, there is 3 windows down here, but however, none of them are legal egress at this point in time. So, it's not technically going to be bedrooms in the legal sense, but at least there's 3 windows to get some light in these other rooms. And if they ever wanted to dig those out and put a legal egress in, they obviously could, but we're not going to do that yet. So all these wires got to be tucked up and changed. This is a dryer vent we're going to have to change around, because it comes down. It's like full. I can feel it full. Dryer vents can't come down. They need to go up. But these folks had to get their dryer in during the remodel, and that's how they could use their old penetration out of the building. So what we're going to do instead there is the wall that dryer's on is still not finished. It's open a little bit up there, so I think we're going to be able to get into the attic, drop down a new vent for that, and then yeah, go up into the attic, and then just one turn over in the attic, and then we'll dump it out the soffit. So that makes me nervous. That needs to be done sooner than later. What else? This copper line here, I'm still not 100% sure what I want to do. I think pretty much decided I'm going to take it out, remove it, because it's just going to be really in the way. This copper line over here is softened water. Yeah. This one that I'm going to take out is not softened, and that's just for, it goes all the way over the building and goes to a outdoor faucet. So I think we'd be better off changing that out for PEX, running it over into that utility space, and then you know, I don't know why it can't just come off of this, change to PEX, and then go up into the rafters, and then that way I can have flat ceiling all through there, and then that's all in. And then the only real bump out I have to do in a finished ceiling will be around this. We'll just knock that down and go straight over into this wall, so it'll only be one. It won't be like a full U bump. It'll just be one angle, you know, one corner. Gonna run a new Ethernet line for them, Cat 5 line, because that got damaged. What else? What is this? Just noticed this. Where the heck does that go to? That was supposed to be a switch for these lights. So that'll be coming out. These lights are all just kind of temporary utilities, and we'll replace those with like a finished recessed. That's nice. That's all ready, you know, that's all right there. Got heat coming out of there right now. It's closed, but heat's coming out, and it's tucked into the rafter. So that is pretty much ready for drywall. That'll be heat into this little bedroom. Closets along the wall. Again, we're gonna put a wall right in between these two bedrooms, and that will allow us to appropriately support this beam, because again, that is not it. Look at, there's even a little space up here. This whole beam is tilting. So we'll, you know, be able to build a fully solid wall under that. They do have nice pockets into the foundation, so that's good. Interesting place. So that'll get a full wall under it. That'll be nice. And then out in here, this will just be open space. You know, unfortunately, you would wish if you were redesigning this down here. Now, obviously, you're dealing with years of other people's stuff, but ideally, all of this utility stuff could have been, you know, in one spot, like over in that corner. Or, I mean, the well pressure tank, obviously that's pretty much got to be where it is. But so we're gonna have like 3 utility closets down here, which will be fine. Just loses a little bit of floor space. So we put a door here. Gotta have enough room to get filters in and out. Access this control, you know, the panel here, and then give us access as a utility space into all this gas line. That's the little chimney. So that'll be fine. And then coming over here, this will just be a nice open space. I don't know, you could put stuff over there, or this corner, so that'll be bar over there. This corner, I believe, is going to be kind of the living room space, or den, or whatever you want to call it. Obviously not their main living room, but the little TV nook, movie corner. I don't know. And then of course we'll have a bulkhead built around this. So, to get started, we are going to choose a spot and start building walls. We got 100 or so 2x4s, all of our treated bottom sills, and I'm going to go a full 3.5 inch wall on the whole thing, other than this little wall right here. I'm going to rip those down, save us 1.5 inches, or, you know, 2 inches rather, actually. And I'm doing that to just provide the maximum amount of clearance here. And unfortunately, this post is going to have to be replaced with another post. I wish I could have come back here and just built a corner post off these stairs, but you can see if I did that, then it would be cantilevered out. Now, ideally what would have happened is, instead of chopping that thing off on the initial the first stairs, because see, they had that beam pocket right there. you know, if that just went over to there, then I could have came back and put a post off these stairs. But I just don't feel comfortable cantilevering that beam because it supports this other double rim joist, which then supports that whole wall and all of those, which is where the old stairs used to come down. So I don't feel comfortable cantilevering that. So we won't. We're just going to replace this metal post with 2x6, you know, jacking king post. So this old stair header, I'm hoping I can, yeah, that'll just get built into this wall. So that'll kind of hide that, because, or I might end up taking it out because it's just 2x6s. It's not doing anything other than holding this mess of electrical. Which is goofy. I don't know why they would have put that box there. Why would you have put a box on the back of a stair header when you could have hit it up into the rafters like I did that one? So that's going to a new range. And then this, I believe, is out of code as well, because what this is 8 gauge black wire coming in from the box, which is what, 40 amp, and then they junction into that white wire and continue on with the black wire. The white wire goes to the water heater, that's 10 gauge, and the black wire coming out of that junction box goes to the old dryer. And we got rid of the dryer. We're not going to have a dryer down here. So see, it's this wire right here, and it's that wire right here. Now, even if you were going to junction like that, why wouldn't you have just ran the feed over here and then hid the junction right here and then split? It still would have not been code, because these are supposed to be on their own circuits, and you can't put 10 gauge wire on a 50 amp circuit or 40 amp circuit, sorry. That should be on its own 30 amp. So there's just multiple things wrong there, and it's in our way. So that needs to be changed. Part of that change will come, I'm gonna put a sub panel in this utility room. So we'll run like a 100 amp sub panel down here off of the main box, which is it right out there in the garage. And then that will allow us to run all of the basement power on its own sub panel, which will be nice. And then we don't really have room in the main panel for all these circuits that we need to add down here. And then that'll allow us to eliminate that kind of junk. We'll just run that. We'll take that white wire right there, run it into the new sub panel, which will be, I don't know yet, probably put it like, I don't know, I'll probably put it like on that wall or right back there, because I don't want to put it behind all this water line. They're going to get a new water softener. So, yeah, probably should I tuck that softener up and then just put that panel right there or something. So, as with most remodels and finishing stuff, when you're finishing, 40 years of other people's work, you've got to sometimes just get creative and get things done. These are my stairs. And this worked out really well. So I brought these down. These are all GRKs, structural lags. These are the posts that go up through the wall, or I'm sorry, through the floor and support the wall, the banister walls above. And those are super strong and solid. And those can be challenging to get to be really solid if you don't have access into this, into the, you know, level below them. There's different ways you can do it. If that was the case, if this had been finished off down here, you know, you can run a 4x4 and angle iron, pretty much is how I like to do them if I can't penetrate the floor. But since this was unfinished down here, I just cut a hole in the floor, dropped those down, GRKs. I still need to put some GRKs into these up there. Yeah, I got them out there, but stair stringers are GRK'd on and fully supported with room to spare, which is how I like to do it, because you can see it barely caught that joist. So you couldn't have even really put a joist hanger on there. So that's the best way. And then additionally, when this doorway gets built, you know, this door here, these will get jack posts. So those are super solid stairs. And then of course they're screwed into the wall. And this was the first time I kept my stairs, the stringers, those edge stringers, held back. I held them back like 5/8. And I just put in temporary screws like this. Gotta come out of there still. But it was pretty slick. It just allowed that drywall to slide right down past the stringers instead of notching out the drywall, which worked really well. These are gonna be carpeted stairs. Other times I've ran them straight over, and that's okay because then you get a trim piece, but it's just a lot more cutting. These are just gonna get drywall butted right into that drywall, or I'm sorry, carpet butted right into that drywall. So it just made it really clean, nice and tight. Nice and tight. Slid right down past them all around. You know, slid right in between the stringer and the risers and the steps and everything, and then allowed me full coverage under the stairs. And that just makes this space a lot easier to finish, and obviously just more finished. Yeah. And that pretty much would have just been wasted drywall, so it's just better all around. And the way I did that was when I was mounting these stringers, I should have recorded it, but I didn't. I took, I just ripped like 5/8 spacers